What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're back with some more Pirate Rumble action. And today we're here with the brand new Treasure Map Sugo Fest exclusive character, Mugiwara 56 Sanji. And today we are going to be covering him in a PSY-based team. So, of course, before we jump into the video, let's discuss what his abilities are in Pirate Rumble and see how he kind of interacts with the other characters on this team. First of which, his passive ability. So he gives your PSY teammate level 8 speed increase and also level 1 CT increase. I really wish that they kind of balances out a bit more, where the speed was a little bit low, but they increased the CT speed up. I think that would have been wicked. Like, potentially, like, level 5 speed and then level 2 or 3 CT up would have been so much better. But, you know, we'll see how this kind of performs today. It's not a very complex passive, but it seems okay. I don't really know how good just mono speed is going to be, though. I think it would have been better if maybe even added attack would have been nice, too. Looking at his special ability, though, his special is also kind of interesting. 32 CT is relatively high, but it does do 1200 fixed damage in a medium range, and then it does a large range, 1.8 times his attack. But then if there's 30 seconds or less remaining, he targets a large range for 3200 fixed damage. So during that last 30 seconds, he hits ridiculously hard, and you're going to be KOing a lot of characters, especially if you're up against teammates or just enemies that are high defense. You're just going to destroy them in that last 30 seconds, which is good. And I do think that the 32 CT is relatively high, and this is definitely a character that I think is going to be kind of similar to Super Type Zoro, where he's going to be really good on the bench, and when the late game arrives, he's going to jump in and he's going to hit ridiculously hard. That's, I feel like, the best way and the best usage of this character. I don't think he's broken in PvP. I just think he's interesting, and he can kind of synergize well with some of the other really good side characters in the game at the moment. So as for his other stuff, he also evades action bind, which actually could be quite key, and also 30% damage reduction from int enemies. Pretty good passive right there. So let's go ahead and take him in today, and we have a PSY-based team. This is essentially the same PSY team I'm always using. However, because we are using a new Sanji character, we can't have PvP Rare Recruit Sobermask on the team, who's another really good character on the bench. So instead of that, I do have Otama on the bench. So once our first character gets knocked out, Otama's going to come in and hopefully give us some good healing capabilities. So that's the ideology of this team. Roger, Anel, Law, Rebecca, all amazing synergy, and I really hope that this team is able to perform well, alright? So let's go ahead and jump into the matches today, and hopefully we get some good wins. So our first opponent is going to be against Jamie, and with this we are going up against just a Roger Odin slasher team. Pretty typical, but of course we have Anel and we have Rebecca, so those two characters like immediately take on the slasher team by themselves. But I am really interested to see how Sanji can kind of assist these characters and what kind of damage output is he actually going to be doing. I haven't even tested this out in single matches yet, so this is going to be interesting to see what our buffs are looking like. So let's see here, we have not too bad, actually. I mean, speed is very high. 18 speed is ridiculous. Level 10 defense, level 11 attack. This looks like a pretty solid team in terms of overall buffs to our side of the field. Our CT is going to be a little bit decreased because of Wano Law. He does decrease the CT of Driven and Powerhouse characters, I do believe. So NL unfortunately will not be receiving that, but the rest of the characters on this team are ready to go. And already, Sanji's special on a 32 CT is already like ready to go. That's actually crazy to see. We're going to take a lot of damage from Odin here. That is a lot of damage, but NL, he does target all enemies for that 1.1, which is very good. Little bit of defense increase, which we wish we had that before we got hit by the Odin special, and then we're going to be debuffed a little bit there from Roger, who's just a very, very big annoyance. We are actually going to be in a bit of trouble, but we do KO the Wano Law, and now we get the Sanji coming in, 1200 fix, the 1.8, and he gets the KO against the enemy. Dude, let's go, Sanji. Yeah, so, you know, the slasher team, they always are known for that high CT increase and for dealing lots of damage very quickly. So we're able to tank those hits initially and hit back with all that brunt. So that's a pretty ridiculous first opening match that we have with Sanji. Now, I'm actually genuinely curious to see how we're going to perform against the Quick team. Now, this team does not have Tesoro or Shiryu on the front line, which means that their CT is not going to be as fast as what you would normally see from a Quick team, but I'm just genuinely curious to see how we kind of perform against it. We do have Wano Law, which is going to give us a little bit of a benefit against their Driven and Powerhouse characters, reducing their CT a little bit so that we're able to get our specials launching first. So with Wano Law increasing our CT, reducing the opponents, that's going to be great. Unfortunately, Luffy's not really affected affected by those debuffs, so he is still going to be able to get his special reasonably quickly. Speed lowering on the enemy is ridiculous too. They do have a lot of HP and attack though, so we do have to be careful. And you know, despite everything, even if, you know, like Super Type Kaido was debuffed to hell, he still hits very hard when he launches his special, so he's still a threat to be reckoned with. We got NL coming in now very quickly with his special ability, a little bit of defense buff, you love to see that. Sanji just missed out on launching his special there, which would have been really, really good. So there we go, get some defense reduction on the enemy. Luffy is launching his special here. Bit of damage there, and he did put the Magellan and the Queen to the top of the order. You hate to see that. So Magellan's also a threat to deal with. CT increasing and hasting, you don't like that at all. But we got Roger coming in with the fixed damage and the debuffing, especially to Kaido. Whenever Kaido comes up, he will be launching here. Wano Law does some damage, doesn't get any KOs yet. NL is going to take the front, but he doesn't get his special off for the second time. Akainu also hits hard with a 30% reduction. Somehow, NL is holding on, but we get Sanji right now. What's he going to do? Fixed damage and the 1.1. We do kill the Luffy, which is awesome. This is going to hurt. So NL and Law are taken out, but we do have our Otama coming in. Hopefully we get some healing, and we do have the Kalgara Nolan, who are ready to launch their special too. That's really, really nice. Are they going to launch? There we go. Who are they targeting? Oh, they just didn't kill the Rebecca. That would have been so good if they did. We did kill the Magellan before he came in again, which is really good. Rebecca coming in with the defense reduction. I'm not really too sure what Kuja Pirate's actually doing in PvP. Queen hasn't launched, so this is his first launch. And unfortunately, the Otama goes down without healing our character. So Whitebeard is going to be like our last line of defense here. He's going to be our savior right now. Unfortunately, Kalgara Nolan couldn't go. Whitebeard's going to miss out on his special as well. Dude, we're getting so unlucky with these specials. Like, they're just short of launching before they come up. That's so annoying. This is going to hurt too. Sanji's left by himself, and it's over. There's no way we can win. Oh, dang it, dude. That's such a shame, because there were so many instances where characters just missed out on having their specials when they got to the top of the order. And I mean, I don't know, like, what's to blame with that. That actually really does suck. I thought we were definitely in with a chance there. Unfortunately, couldn't get the W against the quick team. Would have been awesome if we were able to do that. But despite that, still a really awesome showing against probably one of the better teams in PvP. Alright, so next we have an int-driven base team. I saw this one here, and I guess it's not super optimal because we don't see versus Whitebeard and we don't see Moria. Those two characters are very annoying to deal with, but I'm still intrigued to see how we perform against them. Once again, Wano Law is going to reduce their CT stuff, so that's going to give us a little bit of beneficial stuff moving forward. But the ideal thing to deal with here is we want to take out Fujitora before he launches his special, because Fujitora, when he does launch, he does have a relatively high CT, but if he does get a chance to launch, he cuts everyone's health in half, essentially. So we don't want that to happen. Ideally kill him, but, you know, we got to get our specials up. So we are still relying on Sanji for fixed damage and a bit of damage by himself. We know that Law does fixed damage. We know Roger does fixed damage. So that's all really, really nice to see. We get Rebecca already launching, which is nice. Bit of defense reduction, additional defense reduction versus Doflamingo there. NL's launching, which is going to give us a bit of defensive increase, which is nice. But let's see. The enemy is just short on a couple specials there. Once again, Sanji was ready to go, but he just missed out on having his CT ready. That's such a shame to deal with, man. Alright, we got Roger coming in. Bit of fixed damage. Does actually KO. Was that the Blackbeard that he KO'd? That's actually pretty nice that he got that. So Katakuri's going to come in here. That's annoying. So we get some CT decrease and some speed decrease. So what does Virgo do? I can't actually remember what he does. Wano Law's going to come in with some fixed damage. Nice, taking out the NL, lowering their defenses. And now we have Sanji. Ooh, very nice, Sanji. Let's go. And this should get the dub right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And of course, you know, the side team typically takes on the int team very well. If the enemy had Moria, for example, this would have been a much more different match, I feel. Because remember, Moria's passive is CT increase, and he has the halve stats effect, which is one of the most annoying debuffs in the game. But despite that, we still got the W. So anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So that was still a really cool, awesome showing of the brand new Mugiwara 56 Sanji. Was a bunch of fun using this character. Definitely want to go ahead and build some other teams with him and use him in GARP challenges, showcase him a little bit. Obviously, using him for the next treasure map is going to be useful as well. But that is going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.